Hey folks, Mr. Ackerman here. Thanks for watching. In today's video, I just want to take a moment to show off some of the great work that you guys have been submitting. If you look back in G class, you'll see that the first major assignment that has come due, and that one, of course, was special assignment number 1, What You Been Up To. I asked everyone in the class to submit a few photos that they've been shooting over the past few weeks and include a paragraph giving some insight into those photos. Now, for everyone who followed those instructions, I downloaded your images and I put them on our class website that I'm going to show you in a moment. If you submitted photos but you didn't rename them properly, or you didn't include the paragraph describing them, then you did not get published. And again, I want to remind everyone that the steps that I want you to follow are listed in the assignments in G class, and they are pointed out in the videos that I'm doing. So to make sure you're doing everything the way I'm expecting, please follow those carefully. You will almost always find answers to your questions by following the steps carefully. And if you're still stuck, you can message me. So let's get to it. How do we get to our class website? Shortly after this, I posted an announcement on April 7th, and I gave you the link to our class website. Let's go check that out right now. I'm going to hide myself here so that you don't have to look at my ugly face here. And there we go. Let's take a look. So here's our website. I hope you like the photo that's on the cover there on the home page. There's people, places, and things, selfies and portraits, and elements galleries, which were submitted all prior to the March break. So you'll see work there. Again, you got published if you followed the instructions, and if not, then please look back and see what might have gone wrong and let me know, and I'll see what I can do to get you published. Under the More tab, you'll see something called Editor's Selection, which is just a collection of favorite images of mine from the past with a little explanation of what I like about them. Some of you, I'm sure, will end up in there at some point this semester. There's also an About page, which tells you guys a little bit about what we're doing here. And finally, Special Assignments. Under Special Assignments, which for some reason the button here is a little finicky and doesn't like to work. Thank you, Wix. I guess we get what you pay for. There we go. What You've Been Up To, assignment number 1 is posted. So let's go take a look. And you'll see a lot of the photos that were submitted according to the instructions are all published here. And what I did was I chose a few of these that I wanted to point out for special mention. I have them open in Lightroom, and here's the first one. This one's by Ali Reza. The title is appropriately Pizza, and he seems to have been cooking something and wanted to show us. So what do I like here? First of all, he shot from an unusual angle. The overhead perspective is not what we normally see for food, so it catches your attention. We normally see food when it's held up in front of our faces about to go into our mouths, so this catches your attention. He also used shapes very well here. The squares in the tablecloth, the rectangle in this pen, the circles here. The colors work well together. There's white in the pizza, there's white in here on the tablecloth. There's red here, there's red there. Even the way he arranged the pens, he created some interesting shapes. A lot of thought went into this seemingly simple photo. Good job, Ali Reza. If we move along, we've got Elva, who has shot an image outside of, I'm guessing, her condo or apartment. What is interesting here is the time of day she's chosen. Right around sunrise or sunset, you're going to get these beautiful blues and purples and oranges in the sky. And what that does is not only add color, but it softens the contrast between the lights that are going to be on in buildings and the light in the sky. If she shot this later at night when it was dark, it would have a very contrasty image, which would not be very interesting to look at. But I want to encourage all of you to shoot at this time of day. What you're going to find is that the sky complements the rest of the ground very, very nicely. So good job, Elva. Moving on, we have Quinn, who has submitted a photo of his washing machine, and what I like about this is that he's done a great job of just finding an everyday object in the house and showing off its really intricate design and its detail. He also lit it in an effective way. I don't know if he used a flashlight or the light on his camera or his phone, but whatever he did, it was not too harsh. There's a little bit of a blown out area right in the middle that's hard to avoid, but everything else creates some nice contrast in there, and there's really good detail. He could go further with this by now taking the camera right in there up close to explore some of the different patterns that you see and the different shapes and the close-up detail. There's lots of opportunities in here, so good work, Quinn. Moving on, we have Cherry, who's done a great job of using the light that's coming into her house or her apartment. It's coming through a window. There's obviously blinds or something in the way. She's used the shadow of her hands holding an object, and she can do more with that by maybe taking different objects in her hand or by placing objects in this light. I don't know if this is falling, I think it's falling on a wall in all likelihood, but it could just as easily be falling on the floor of her apartment or house. And so you can put objects in that light. You could even open the window so we're not using the blinds and instead cut out your own object with a certain pattern or shape to cast light with a different shape instead of these rectangles here. So the sky's the limit. She can do whatever she wants. Great work there, Cherry. The last image that I wanted to share with you is Guanwei's. Guanwei did a great job creating an image that tells a story that's very appropriate to this time that we find ourselves in. It's a basketball court with a ball in the air, so clearly someone's thrown it, but the interesting thing is we don't know who that person is because he or she is not shown. And that is the idea for these times. There are all these scenes with no people in them. But it's not just that. This is really interesting. He chose to shoot at a time of day where the light is interesting. It's soft and warm down here. It's cooler up here. There's a nice contrast. The low angle of the sun creates really neat shadows. It also highlights objects like this soccer net or the houses over here or just the edge of the basketball net stand. So he's really done a great job of harnessing light at the right time of day and creating an image that tells a story. Great work, Guanwei. Anyway, that's it for now. I am looking forward to seeing the rest of your work as you guys submit it. Remember, to get published, you got to follow all the steps. That always involves renaming your files properly and submitting any written write-outs as they are requested. Anyway, you can hear my kids in the background are getting restless, so I'm going to leave you guys now. Hope you're staying safe, and I look forward to seeing your work. Bye for now.